Good evening and welcome to Sports Night in Auburn. I'm Mary Leigh Oliver.
And I'm Brendan McLaughlin. Tonight, we have a recap of Auburn's loss at South Carolina, details on their plan to bounce back for this weekend, information on soccer's 2 big wins last week, and the start of volleyball, baseball, basketball, and more.
The Tigers traveled to Columbia this past weekend and were upset by the unranked South Carolina Gamecocks, 30-22. Mistakes cost Auburn the game as quarterback Bo Nix threw 3 interceptions, all of which resulted in touchdown drives for the Gamecocks. They also racked up 89 yards in penalties, with a lot of them coming at crucial times for the Tigers. Auburn's offense started rolling early as the Tigers' first 2 drives resulted in a field goal and a touchdown. But after that, it went downhill for Nix and his offense. South Carolina's offense had 481 total yards. Quarterback Colin Hill threw for 272 yards and 1 touchdown. The Gamecocks took the lead late in the third quarter, and Auburn's late game rally failed as they were unable to score despite being in the red zone on the first down.
The win for South Carolina marks their first win over Auburn since 1933. The upset drops the Tigers out of the top 25. While the loss was not what the Tigers were hoping for as they traveled to Columbia, there are some positives that came from the game. Running back Tank Bigsby had another solid game with 16 carries for 116 yards and 1 touchdown. This was his second straight 100-yard game in his career for the Tigers. Head coach Gus Malzahn said, "He ran extremely hard again this week, for the 3rd week in a row, broke tackles, ran with an attitude, so he did a really good job. Another 100-yard game. I think 16 for 111, so yeah, he'll be a factor moving forward." Auburn plans to use Bigsby more in the future in hopes of turning their season around.
The loss was a big hit to Auburn's confidence and outlook on the season moving forward, but Gus Malzahn still has faith in his team. He saw some positives in the run game as well as improvements with the O-line. He is proud of how hard they played and how they stuck with it. He also mentions how the team needs to correct the drops and turnovers on offense, as well as correcting some penalties.
First of all, I'm proud of our guys for fighting to the end. We didn't handle adversity great in the third quarter and kind of got behind there and had to play catch up. I thought we played pretty good football in the first half. When you look at it, the stat sheet, we as far as the stat sheet, we played pretty good football, but the 3 turnovers obviously were big. They led to 21 points. In the second half, we had 7 penalties. And I think 4 led to first downs and kept them on the field. I think we got a chance to be a good offense. I really do. And I saw some good things. We got to correct the drops. There's no doubt with that. The turnovers, like we talked about, that was really the key stat of the game. But I think this offense has potential. We've got 6 games left. I did feel like we got in rhythm at times, running the football, throwing the football. And like I said, if you look at the third down, so what were we, 7-16 overall against the number 1 third down team. So, like I said, stat sheet looks pretty good, but we just didn't get it done on the scoreboard. I think this is the most unique time probably in, or at least one of the most unique times in all of college football history, and dealing with adversity. You got to man up. Your characters really got to come out, and I really believe our team will. And we will be a team that improves. I will promise you that. You will see this team improve, and that's what we'll be doing.
Senior wide receiver Eli Stove and sophomore linebacker Owen Papo spoke after the game. They discussed all the penalties at the game and how they need to fix their mistakes. They also talked about how much potential the team has and how they need to get everything corrected moving forward. They believe they will come back stronger in the future.
I really think we were hurting ourselves with a lot of penalties that we had, man. So we just got to get that corrected in practice, so we can get off the field quickly on third down. Just learn from it, correct all the mistakes, and just stay close together because we know it's going to be a lot of people trying to divide us up, from the media, people talking on Twitter and all that. But we just going to stay together. We know. Just certain things that we've seen today, we know that we had the potential to be a really good team. We just got to eliminate, these self-inflicted wounds, all the penalties. We had a lot of we had turnovers on our offense. We just got to make sure we get all that corrected. I think we had the potential to be a very good team. So, as far as everybody's confidence is still there, we're not going to let this beat us up that bad, but we're going to come out next week and bounce back strong, come back strong.
For receiver, I think we should just need to work on details. I think we had a lot of minor mistakes that we need to get cleaned up and fixed. Just really communicating with each other what we're doing. People want to win. It's competition. So Steph's trying to tell Bo something about what the DB's doing, and Bo's trying to tell him what he saw. So, it happens. I see potential. I think we just need to execute the minor details. Really, like I said before, everybody got to be on the same page. That's the biggest thing. Just everybody got to be on the same page and know what Bo wants and where he's going to go with it, or how the defense is playing. But really just details, what it all comes down to. Oh, yeah, like I said, we got a lot of potential on offense and defense, special teams. Just got to come together better, got to have a better connection on offense. Whereas defense looks solid. No, I think mainly it was on offense. We got to execute way better. We put them in a lot of bad spots. They had three interceptions inside the 50. So it's kind of hard for the defense, to play with that. But we execute better on offense. Get better, improve every week.
The Tigers look to bounce back this weekend as they travel to Oxford, Mississippi to take on Ole Miss in Week 5 of SEC play. Auburn leads 33-11 in the all-time series against Ole Miss, and the Tigers have won 4 straight in the series, scoring the Rebels 135-82. Auburn leads 16-3 in Auburn and 12-3 in Oxford, while the series is tied 5-5 at neutral sites. While Ole Miss lost last weekend, they have been putting up a strong offensive front against other SEC teams. The Rebels lost to Arkansas 33-21 last weekend after quarterback Matt Corral threw 6 interceptions. Kickoff is set for 11 a.m. from Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. The game can be seen on SEC Network. Gus Malzahn previewed the matchup on Tuesday, saying he's looking forward to traveling to Oxford. He believes they are a better team than their record entails and emphasizes how strong their offense is. Malzahn said they need to get back to playing good, hard, physical Auburn football.
Looking forward to going to Ole Miss and playing those guys on the road. Both teams came off tough road losses. Really, when you look at them, they're a better team than their record. They could have won, a couple of those games and had opportunities. You look at their offense, one of the best offenses statistically in college football up to this point, and they played some pretty good defenses too. Really what stands out to me is that they're able to run the football, they're able to throw it. You look at their quarterback, he's thrown for 11 touchdowns. Their leading receiver, Elijah Moore, very impressed with him, 42 receptions. And then, of course, their running back, Ely. We know all about him. He's a very explosive guy. And their defense, they've played some of the best offenses. But, we know we've got our work cut out for us. Anytime in this league, there's such a fine line between winning and losing, especially when you go on the road. And, of course, you look at us last week. Like I said, I think we improved in some areas. But the bottom line is we made the critical mistakes that didn't let us win the game. And that's what we got to correct. And really just getting back to playing good, hard-nosed, blue-collar, physical Auburn football. Yeah, well, I said this the other night. obviously, very passionate and emotional guys want to win. We just got to channel that in a better way moving forward, and we will do that. Sean Shivers is one of our team leaders. You're talking about a guy that had a phenomenal fall camp and really had a really good first half against Kentucky and then got hurt. And, so that'll definitely help when he gets back. He's in a great spot. The fact that our 5 offensive linemen, like I said the other night, that, they've practiced for the first time Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of the same week, all 5, all in the same position. Then they go out there and take the next step forward. We can build upon that. And so that's really, very encouraging.
Center Nick Brahms also spoke about how the mistakes the team made are simple fixes, but how they are crucial to the team's success. He talked about how he rode back to Auburn next to Bo Nix and how he's a competitor and how he felt very down after the game.
A lot of it, with the holding penalties and stuff, you just got to move your feet, you got to keep your hands inside. It's simple fixes, but it's easier to say than done. But we got to get that cleaned up as a team. And yeah, because some of them are crucial, man, and it can be the difference in a ball game in the future. And so yeah, we got to get cleaned up. I could tell he was special in fall camp, man. He has the right mindset. He's got a natural leadership ability to him, and you could just tell that as a freshman. It's really rare, I think, coming into a big school like Auburn to have a freshman like that kind of lead some guys. And you can see it. He can burst, man. He runs hard, man. I love blocking for him because that dude, he's positive too. He brings us up, and man, he's just fun to block for. Yeah, I rode the bus home with Bo, right next to him, right next to his seat, and I could just tell that guy's a competitor, man. He talked to us after the game, and he felt really down about himself, and it was our job to kind of pick him up as his teammates and make sure we know that he's a competitor, man. He's gonna freaking fight till the end, and that's what I love about him. I love that guy, man. I don't care what anybody says about him. He's a great teammate. He's a great kid, and I just love him. And he's gonna bounce back, man. He's so positive. So he doesn't. I don't think he lets the noise get to him, honestly. So I see him bouncing back.
Jamie and Sherwood also spoke about the matchup and mentioned how the secondary can show off their skills. He said how the team sat down Sunday and focused on turning the week around, and how they practiced hard this week to hopefully get a win in Oxford.
I think it'll be a great competition for us. They like to pass a lot, so I feel like as a secondary, as an Auburn defense, I feel like we can wake up the world. A lot of people they've seen how we played the past few weeks, so they might try to say we're not this or we're not that. So we just have a great opportunity this weekend to go put on a show for our fans and for everybody who's watching. We Saturday didn't go the way we wanted, so just on Sunday, we turned around. This week isn't going to be that way. We're going to play hard. We're going to practice hard. So today in practice, as DBs, we practiced the best that we could. We still got some things to fix up before Saturday. But I think it'll be a great game for us, and can't wait to have fun. He just wants us to play Auburn football. He just says, there's no need for it. So, this week we're just going to work on, and Saturday, we're just going to play football, play the game that we're supposed to play, and play to the standard that we're supposed to play. The team is fired up. Saturdays in the past, we can't change the outcome of that. So it's just on to this week, on to Ole Miss. So, they're practicing as hard as they can. If a penalty happens, you can't control it, but after it's done, it's just next play mentality. You can't think about it. You can't let it slow down your game. So, if somebody had a penalty on Saturday, they're just working today in practice, this week in practice, to not let it happen again, to just be better than they were last week.
The matchup between Auburn and Ole Miss kicks off at 11 a.m. Central Time and can be found on SEC Network. When we come back, we will look at Auburn Soccer's big win against Georgia, as well as volleyball's first game and the return of basketball and baseball. Keep it right here. You're watching Sports Night in Auburn. The Auburn Tigers showed their strength and determination on Sunday when they beat the number 12 ranked Georgia team 1-0 in Athens. The 1-0 victory in Athens has brought the Auburn's women's soccer team to be the last unbeaten SEC team. After playing a man down in the last 35 minutes of the game, Auburn stepped up and showed that they could win. This was the team's first win against a top 15 team on the road since the win against the Florida Gators on September 22nd, 2016. It was a wild one for sure, head coach Karen Hoppe said. Red card, PK, defended like crazy. It definitely ranks up there just with this team gutting out a performance like that. A man down against an undefeated top 15 Georgia team. That's a big one, and I'm really proud of the girls' effort. After receiving a red card 10 minutes into the first half, goalkeeper Maddie Prohaska was forced to leave the game. Shortly after, Sydney Richards kicked a game-winning PK. Richards said, "Honestly, I was just thinking this is practice and I've done it a million times. Let me just do what I do." Goalkeeper Danny Kaufman, who came in the game when Prohaska left, made an outstanding appearance on the field against the Bulldogs. She made 6 saves in the second half and 1 on a free kick. Auburn had 19 players participate in the contest for the second time this week.
The Tigers have racked up some accolades because of their strong performance against Georgia, as well as their double overtime win against Ole Miss last Tuesday. Senior Sarah Houchin was named the Southeastern Conference Defensive Player of the Week. This award is the first of Houchin's career, and the second time an Auburn player has earned SEC honors this season. Freshman goalkeeper Maddie Prohaska was named SEC Freshman of the Week following her performance in Week 1 of play. Houchin and teammate Anna Haddock were both recognized by Top Drawer Soccer this week as well. Houchin was named to the Team of the Week, and Haddock was an honorable mention. The pair are the second and third Auburn players to be recognized by Top Drawer Soccer this season, as Prohaska was named to the Team of the Week following Auburn's tie against Mississippi State. Haddock played a key role in the Tigers' win over Ole Miss, as she served the corner kick that led to Auburn's goal with less than 5 seconds left in double overtime. Because of Auburn's 2 dramatic wins last week, the Tigers have been ranked number 14 in the United Soccer Coaches NCAA Division I Women's Ranking, which was released Tuesday. Auburn is 2-0-1 and is the only unbeaten team in the SEC. Auburn joins 4 other SEC teams in the rankings, with Arkansas at number 7, Texas A&M at number 9, South Carolina at number 11, and Georgia at number 15. Auburn returns to action this Saturday, October 24th, when it will host Kentucky at 6 p.m. at the Auburn Soccer Complex. The SEC announced schedule changes that will affect Auburn soccer in the last few weeks of play. The Tigers' 2 matches at Texas A&M and LSU that were postponed due to COVID-19 have been rescheduled. The Tigers will travel to Baton Rouge on Monday, November 2nd at 2 p.m. Central Time and will take on Texas A&M Monday, November 9th at 3 p.m. The Iron Bowl of soccer that was originally scheduled for Sunday, November 8th will now be played Friday, November 6th at the Auburn Soccer Complex at 6 p.m.
Auburn Volleyball begins their 2020 season Wednesday night in Auburn Arena as they will take on the number 4 Florida Gators. This game is the first of only 8 games the Tigers will play. This is the Tigers' first match under new coach Brent Crouch, and fans should expect big things. I'm really excited to be together with this team and to be in the trenches battling with them, Crouch said. We've been together a long time, but we haven't been competing. We haven't had the opportunity of standing next to each other while facing an opponent, supporting one another and pushing one another yet. Auburn Athletics and Auburn Volleyball announced health and safety and attendance protocols for the Tigers' upcoming series at home. Protocols include reducing the capacity of Auburn Arena to an Auburn team pass list, visiting team pass list, a limited number of Auburn students, and a limited number of seats for the general public. Face coverings will be required for those in attendance. Fans will also be asked to sit in the designated seating and should practice one-way traffic flow. These policies have been created and put in place to maintain the Auburn game day experience while keeping a safe and healthy environment. As a program, we continue to be thankful for the care and attention to detail that the SEC and Auburn has displayed in making a fall season a possibility for the players, and now for the fans, head coach Brent Crouch said. Auburn Volleyball will face the Gators Wednesday, October 21st and Thursday, October 27th at 7 p.m.
After an abrupt ending to the 2019-2020 basketball season and an abnormally long offseason, Auburn Basketball is finally practicing again. Auburn held its first official team practice on October 14th, and the team is coming off the best start to a season in school history at 15-0 and one of the best regular seasons in Auburn history at 25-6. Bruce Pearl and the Tigers are excited to get back in the groove of things. Pearl is looking at a lot of new players this season after losing several key players from previous years. We've got a whole new team now. We lost 11 players from the Final Four, and we lost our 6 best players from last year, Pearl said. We have 12 guys on scholarship, 10 of them are underclassmen. This is the youngest team I've had since I've been a Division I basketball coach. Auburn has 0 seniors on the roster for the 2020-21 season, as Pearl is still looking for which players to step up and become leaders on this team.
When the guys first came back, there was about a 28-day period of acclimation, different levels of quarantining and testing. one guy, one ball, one basket, one shooting machine. And then we gradually worked our way through the summer to where we were able to begin to have more than one guy at a basket and have three guys at a basket. And then we started to be able to actually share a basketball. And it was quite a process. We have 12 guys on scholarship. 10 of them are underclassmen, freshmen, and sophomores. This is the youngest team I've had since I've been a Division I basketball coach. The kids have been training really hard. I really like my team. I really like the effort. I like the competition. I like the work ethic. We have got a lot to learn. We have very little experience. Our first game, based on all that we know, looks like November 25th in Orlando. The exact makeup of the field, all the opponents, we've got some ideas, but I'm not prepared to actually comment about them because I don't know that they've been released yet. As soon as they are officially released, I'll comment on them.
The Auburn Tigers are set to begin the season in a tournament in Orlando, Florida on November 25th.
Auburn Baseball also started fall practice last week. The Tigers' season was cut short back in March due to the pandemic, and they were finally able to meet again as a whole team last Sunday. Head coach Butch Thompson said that was a monumental moment. The team was able to meet in small groups over the summer, but last week they held a whole team practice and the team is excited to get going. While players worked out over the summer, Thompson is seeing some kinks in their gameplay and is hoping to get those worked out in fall practice. The team has practice now until November 23rd, which is when Auburn's campus will go remote until spring semester. Spring practice will pick up January 6th and continue until February 14th. Thompson is excited with the depth of his team, and he is ready to get into more of a solid practice routine.
This was a long time coming from, small group work and just getting to the point of our first week of official team practice. And we did two, abbreviated squad games, one on Tuesday and the second yesterday on Thursday. We played about 4 innings each day, 4.5 innings, I think, the other day on Tuesday. I think we were all excited to get out there. We've been doing a lot of drill work for a long time and building up and taking all of our precautions and going through all the adjustments there and finally getting an entire team together. I will say last Sunday was the first day that I met with the entire team and coaching staff since March of 13th. So that's pretty incredible to me to go that long as a head coach of a program. We've been meeting 6 at a time or 8 at a time. So that was kind of a monumental moment, having the entire team together. In quarantine, you're probably going to go play catch with somebody, and you're probably going to go to the batting cage and hit. And I've been disappointed by the base running and the little game awareness. I think the guys have worked hard. I think they've done things. I think they've done the best that they can. But we need every rep of a ball game to because I think that's what's been missing the most, or just the little intangibles of playing a game. We're really in a great place. So I'm looking for the advantage of having more depth. I'm looking to the advantage of the lineup not being as easy to make out as it has been maybe the last couple of years, because this guy's going to play here and that guy's going to play there. It's going to be really neat to try to get more people than we ever have, at bats in a game, and trying to figure out who's not your 9 best players, but your best 9 that helps formulate the best team to win.
When we come back, we will take a look at how tennis and golf performed over the weekend and how former Auburn players are doing in the NFL. Keep it right here. You're watching Sports Night in Auburn.
Auburn men's tennis was back in action over the weekend as they played in the Vanderbilt Invitational. Freshman Tyler Stice was the overall singles winner, and the doubles pair of Tad McLean and Finn Mergitt were Auburn's winners in the doubles at the Vanderbilt Invitational. Stice went 3-0 in singles, defeating Maximum Verboven of Arkansas, George Howell of Vanderbilt, and Millen Hurrian of Kentucky. McLean and Mergitt went 2-1 in doubles, defeating the doubles pair from Arkansas. The Auburn Tigers posted 16 wins in singles and totaled 6 doubles victories. The competition featured Vanderbilt, Auburn, Arkansas, and Kentucky.
Auburn women's golf continues their play at the Alley at Old Waverly. Freshman Alina Sins stepped up big, shooting a 68 4-under par on Monday and a 71 1-under par on Tuesday. She added 4 birdies to her round during her performance on Tuesday. Sins is the 4th player on the leaderboard after day 2 of play. The Tigers fought hard on Tuesday, but fell to 5th in the standings after totaling a 294 in round 2. It was a bit of a disappointing round for the team, but a solid round for freshmen, Sins said. Auburn head coach Melissa Llewellyn remained hopeful as she said, "The course was scoreable today, and I felt like we threw some shots away. We have to be sharp with the decision making and committing to those decisions to post a good, solid round tomorrow. We certainly have the firepower, just need the execution." After 2 days of play, South Carolina climbed into the lead at 8 under par, followed by Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, and Auburn to round out the top 5.
Auburn players continue to thrive in the NFL as many players had huge performances in Week 6 of NFL play. Jameel Dean and Carlton Davis, who both play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, stole the show on Sunday as they led the Buccaneers to a 38-10 win over the Green Bay Packers. Dean had a pick 6 and Davis had 6 tackles and a career-high 4 defended passes. This is the 3rd straight week that Carlton Davis has had 2 or more passes defended. He currently leads the NFL with 29. Jonathan Jones had a huge game on Sunday. The former free agent snagged his first interception of the season with a wild grab late in the 4th quarter. He defended 3 passes and finished with 4 tackles.
After missing the last 2 weeks of play due to COVID-19, Cam Newton jumped right back into action as he completed 17 of his 25 passes for a total of 157 yards. He also rushed for 76 yards on 10 carries and scored his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Newton proved he can do it all as he also caught a pass for 16 yards. His rushing performance pushed him over the top as he became only the 2nd quarterback in NFL history to go over 5,000 career rushing yards. Newton is currently the only player in the NFL with 25,000 career passing yards and 5,000 career rushing yards. Although Darius Slayton only caught 2 passes on Sunday, one of them was for a 23-yard touchdown to help the Giants get their first win of the season. Slayton made a difficult over-the-shoulder grab to secure the touchdown. It was his 3rd touchdown of the season.
That's all for Sports Night in Auburn. But for more Auburn sports, head to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, where we'll have everything you need to know to stay up to date on Auburn sports. I'm Mary Leigh Oliver.
And I'm Brendan McLaughlin. For even more sports, follow our Twitter at EETV_sports and follow our Instagram at EagleEyeTV. Good night and War Eagle.